My novel, The Space Between Dreaming, is about two different women who form a friendship. And these two women are from different walks of life, they're different ages, and they're both holding on to dreams. And they're holding on so tightly that they can't really see what else life is trying to offer them. And the story is about a painting named The Space Between Dreaming, and how this painting helps them move past some of these obstacles that they've placed in their life. So it's about art, and it's about life, and it's about friendship. There's some really fun characters in the story, and it's a story about how they overcome some of these things in order to really just embrace this goodness that life has to offer them, and to get past this place where they're stuck. Over the years, I've written many different novels, and I've just never published them. And I really wanted to have this goal that I had of publishing a novel come true. And I wanted the subject matter to be something that was important to me. And so this book I wrote because, I think we all get in these spots in life where we are stuck. Maybe we are holding on to something, a dream, an expectation, and how do we move past that? And I wanted to tell a story that showed how influential art can be in helping you do that. Art has been such a big part of my life in this healing, good, wonderful, amazing way. And the fact that art and a painting and a painter help in this story to move all these characters through the things that they're going through was something that was near and dear to my heart, and something that I thought that people would be interested in reading. And I really wanted to write a story about a female friendship, and one that was maybe unusual because these women are different ages and they have another older lady who helps them become friends. And I really wanted the characters to just stand out and create something memorable for the reader. So that was why I wanted to write it. The Milwaukee Art Museum has always been a really special place for me. When I was a kid, we used to go there on school trips, and just to see all the different paintings and the way artists would express different situations and emotions really drew me in. And a few years ago, the art museum went through this big renovation, and it has this beautiful building, and even that became something that became a favorite place for me. Walking into the art museum and seeing that space and seeing the design of this structure is kind of a healing place for me. So when it came time to write this book, I had to put a scene from the art museum into the book. And so in the book, two characters, they go on a date and they go to the art museum, which is to me like the favorite way to have a date. I mean, what a perfect way to spend an afternoon. And so they get to do that, and it gave me a chance to feature one of my favorite places on earth in this book. So that's why I included it. I think my favorite character in the book is Mrs. Furch. She is an 80-year-old landlady, and she befriends both the main characters, and she just has this really wonderful take on life. She's been through a lot of things, but the way that she carries herself and how she helps people and how she has this sense of humor about life. I named her after my great-grandmother, which was a fun fact for me because it gave me a way to include some of my personal history into the book as well. The character is nothing like my great-grandmother. I mean, just nothing personality-wise like her, but I named her after my great-grandmother. And, my grandparents and my history and my relatives, it really has a special place in my heart. And I include them on a picture wall in my home. And the fact that I got to include her in some way in the book was really a fun fact for me to do. I created the cover for the book from one of my paintings called Follow the Music. And I made it last year in a way that I had never created a painting before. I was asked by a music group to create a painting from a piece of music. So what they did is they gave me a piece of music that I had never heard before, and just had me listen to it and create something from it, and then present the painting at their concerts. Hi everybody. Color. I do like color. I like color. I'm Sherry Burbach, and I know nothing about music. at all, except that I like it and I like to listen to it. And when I received this music, I knew nothing about it. I just listened to it again and again and again to prepare myself to just follow it and create something from it. And typically my process involves a lot of pigment. So this is very typical of that. I have acrylics and oil pastel and ink. And I like to mix things up and really just kind of follow whatever the vibe is, whatever I'm feeling with the painting. And so it was perfect to have this kind of collaboration, because in listening to the music, I had these images that came up in my mind. You know, there are these dips in the music, and then it would, you know, it'd get to this point where I started envisioning a woman just reaching through a meadow, chasing after somebody, almost touching their hand, and kind of running through there, you know, gracefully. And I could just, as I listened to it, and I listened to it over and over and over, so I'm so excited to hear it live tonight, because finally, after listening to it many, many times, I had this image that popped up, and that's when I began to paint. And so that's what I titled the piece, which was Follow the Music, because that's what I did to create this. So I would present the painting, and then they would play the piece of music. So it was this really special event, and I had such a fun time doing it. I listened to the music over and over until I had an image in my mind of something. And when it came time to writing the book, I was, you know, writing the book in addition to, you know, doing this painting, but I wasn't doing them together. But when I started writing this book, I, you know, thought of this painting that would have somebody in it that would be reaching out and just kind of like reaching for answers, reaching out and that type of thing. And really, I felt like it went with this painting. I feel like both those images went together. So the image of what this painting in the book was all about and what this actual painting was. Sometimes people ask if I consider myself an artist or writer. I consider myself both. I've always done both. And really, words and images together, they're always something that I bring to everything. I put a lot of words on my paintings, and when I'm writing, I have those images in my mind. When I'm doing poetry, I have an image in my mind. So I really think it's fun when you can take both of these passions that you have and these creative pursuits and put them together. And I find a lot of people have more than one thing that they like to do, and it's fun when you can kind of put that into one project and you know, and celebrate both those types of creative pursuits.